Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. It is time to get some answers, to get more information, to figure out what is going on from the previous war. Yeah, we're really tying things in with the previous war, and honestly, that's always been a bit of an important thing to, keep in the back of, your head while going through all of this. Knowing that Saber has been, in this time period before was a pretty, big hint. And that she, her circumstance of being an incomplete servant, having participated in the war previous to this one. And then there's also that lovely fiery scene that we've seen at least 30 times at this point that Shirou almost died in, but was able to get rescued and then from there adopted. Obviously, there's a whole lot going on from the previous war, and we're really tying back to it now, especially since Kiritsugu, Shirou's, adopted father, the guy that adopted him, him being in the war, but also having Saber as his servant, and what he forced her to do, what he commanded her to do. So here we are, back at the church. Let us see what we can find out, and if any of this information can really help us going forward, because we got OG Archer ready to intervene.
嘘つけ。あんたは知ってたはずだ。親父がセイバーのマスターだったこと。最後に聖杯を壊しちまったこと。あんたは聖杯を管理してる監督役なんだからな。
ほう。セイバー自身がそう言ったのか。
Yeah.
ああ。前回の聖杯戦争はそうして終わったって聞いた。
And the priest falls silent, contemplating something.
サーバントが前回の記憶を受け継いでいるというのは異常だ。セイバーは故障しているのか。
Yeah, there we go.
それとも、あのセイバーそのものが異常なのか。
Not necessarily defective, but I mean, we all know at this point. Like she's not a regular heroic spirit.
通常のサーバントとは言えないな。英霊は記憶など持たない。過去、現在、未来。いかなる時代にも呼び出される連中に記憶があっては矛盾が生じる。奴らにあるものは生前の記録だけだ。死後英霊となってからの出来事は一切記憶されないはずだが。
That's actually something I was thinking about in the previous episode, because you kind of pop up at like different points in the timeline. It isn't exactly a straight line, is it? Like you can pop up anywhere. So if you participated in a war in the future, and then you participated in a war in the past, that is very contradictory, no? I'm pretty sure that was explained how it could work, is that, heroic spirits can pop up at any time. And time, sure, is a one-way road, but this is a little different, no? He ponders this as if he still isn't convinced. I get it. Kotomine doesn't know Saber hasn't fully become a heroic spirit, so he can't truly understand the situation.
いや、それが違うんだ。セイバーは他のサーバントとは事情が違うらしい。
事情が違う？なるほど。わざわざ訪れた要件はそれか。いいだろう。話してみろ。
Yeah, should we though? His haughty attitude pisses me off, but I don't have time to deal with that too. I don't like it, but this man might be able to give me a clear explanation.
それが、セイバーは死んでないらしいんだ。あいつはまだ英霊になる契約をしていない。死の淵であいつが願ったのが聖杯を手に入れることで、その代償として英霊になることを認めたとか。だから、あいつはまだ死んだわけじゃないんだ。聖杯を手に入れるまでは死なず、手に入れてしまえば完全なサーバントになるって言ってた。
死んでいない。では、セーバーはまだ輪廻の枠にとどまっているということか。他の英霊のように時間から外れたわけではないと。
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, it gets really weird.
遠坂はセイバーは一人で時間に止まっているとも言ってた。
そうか。英霊のように事が済めば消えるのではなく、聖杯を手に入れるまでは 英霊として駆り出されるということか。だがあれは未だ聖杯を手に入れていないため、失敗するたびに死の直前にいる自身に戻ってしまう。そうして前回の記憶を持ったまま今回も呼び出された。わざわざ死ぬために聖杯を求めるとは、英雄というのは分からぬな。そうして手に入れたところで待っているのはサーバントとして刺激されることだけだろうに。
そうだ。たとえ聖杯を手に入れてあいつが望みを叶えたところで、あいつは他のサーバントと同じになっちまうんだろう。
However, think about it this way. She'll be a different servant still. Like, sure, in the sense of, well, okay, yeah, she's gonna be like everybody else. You know, somebody that died, became a heroic spirit, and will be sent anywhere at any time to become a servant. That is, gonna be the same. But, she will have memories from before she died. That's how it works, right? She isn't dead. She will have memories of so many different wars. These experiences will carry with her, no? So she'll have basically a eternal, I guess advantage over all the other servants in all of the wars that she'll participate in going forward. She can win so many of them because she'll know exactly what to expect. Especially if, she learns some identities and she comes across some of the same servants. May look a little different, but she'll have a better idea and she'll know what to expect out of maybe some of them. I don't know. I feel like she'll always have an advantage.
そもそもサーバントって何なんだ。英霊を使い魔にするっていうが、セイバーみたいに矛盾した英霊もありえるのか。
さあ、そのあたりのシステムなど知らんよ。魂の永続。その秘宝を真似て作られたのがサーバントシステムだ。こればかりは立案者であった当時の人間しか知るまい。
魂の永続？
いや、もともとはそういうものだっただけと関係のないことだ。忘れろ。それでエミヤしろ。つまるところ、お前はあのセーバーをサーバントではなくしたいというのだな。
Yeah, he doesn't want her to go through that, all of that crap I just talked about. No, he really wants her to be able to live on, But it's a bit of a slippery slope. Her goal is actually to just completely wipe away everything that she's ever done. She doesn't want to be king. Which means I guess you could also just forget everything I just said because, well, she's not going straight to the point of which she's dying. She's going to change history. Is that what I want? I do think Saber's situation is messed up. Aiming for the Holy Grail is all well and good, but afterwards the only thing waiting for her is her disappearance. Even if someone other than King Arthur is chosen as king, and when King Arthur ceases to exist in our history, the hero King Arthur will continue to be used by who knows how many others. And that seems wrong to me. So if she can stop being a servant and just live a normal life...
それは不可能だ。死者は蘇らない。いかに時間に止まっていようと、私たちにとってセーバーは死んだものだ。
Okay, thinking about this in a timeline sense, I really fucking suck when it comes to, time manipulation and stories, but let me give it a shot here. Yes, to us, King Arthur is dead. And that means if she really is King Arthur, okay, well, that means she died. She did die. But to her, that hasn't happened yet because she's been carved out from her perspective of time and thrown into all these wars as an incomplete servant. But because of the position we're currently in, doesn't that prove that once she goes back, nothing will change? History as we know it, if she really is King Arthur, then she won't disappear. She will continue to be King Arthur to the very end and die, and then she will continue onward as a heroic spirit, or whatever it is she's going to be doing.
彼女を現世に呼び出しているのは聖杯の力であり、彼女が英霊になる交換条件を飲んだからだろう。聖杯を求めない彼女はサーバントとして召喚されることはない。そして聖杯を求める以上、遅かれ早かれ彼女は完全なサーバントになるだろう。たとえ今回が失敗に終わっても、彼女にはチャンスなど無限にある。
Not to completely ignore everything he's saying, but I'm still trying to think about everything I just said. Okay, so we interpret and always had the idea that King Arthur was a man. And because of that, maybe that means that she's already accomplished her goal. That at some point she was able to fully die and somebody else was able to live on as King Arthur, and that somebody else was a man. Maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think in a way that, like, you know, let's say Saber wins the war, right? So Shirou and Saber are victorious. They get the Holy Grail. She makes her wish. She goes back and she changes history. It's not like, oh, there's a bright white light and we're all of a sudden in a new timeline. No, there is only one timeline. There is only one. The past has already been, like, certified.
聖杯を手に入れる機会を同時に行えるというわけでもないし、一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって決定した結果は変えられないからな。だがそれでも聖杯を手に入れるのは時間の問題だろう。聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に存在する。その全てをしらみつぶしに続けていけば、いずれ聖杯は手に入れられる。そもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ、お前のセーバーをサーバントでなくす方法など、あれがお前の前に現れた時点で存在しまいよ。
I knew it. As long as Saber seeks the Holy Grail, there's no way she can avoid becoming a servant. She will stay like this forever, unless she decides to use the Holy Grail for herself. Even if this Holy Grail War ends and there's no need to fight anymore. If she doesn't obtain the Holy Grail, she just has to try again next time. The moment she obtains it, she turns into this so-called heroic spirit and is sent all across time.
じゃあ、聖杯を手に入れようが手に入れまいが、あいつはずっとサーバントのままなのか。
いや、そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の杯であるのなら、セーバーを救うことはできる。
けど、あんたはさっきそれは不可能だと。
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。だがお前が望んでいるのは、セーバーを人としてこの世にとどまらせることだろう。ならば、そう難しいことではない。聖杯戦争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。もっとも、死んでしまえば死の直前にいる彼女に戻ることになるが。
I still wonder how Archer is still here, though.
それはどうやって？
英霊とサーバントは似て非なるものということだ。通常英霊として召喚される者には意志などない。連中はただ目的を果たすためだけの道具として召喚され消え去っていく。だがサーバントは別だ。あれは聖杯によって呼び出された本体だからな。それならば世界に留めておくだけで人として生きていこう。
そんなことできるのか。前回セイバーは聖杯が壊れた時点で消えたと言っていた。聖杯がなくなってしまえばサーバントは残っていられないんじゃないのか。
無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であり、その後に彼らを維持させるのがマスターの役割だ。だがそれも聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力ではサーバントを維持できない。聖杯という強大な魔力提供源がなければサーバントは消えてしまう。
I guess that goes back to what I brought up in the previous episode. Whether or not the Holy Grail is around, there is enough power that is going on here that is allowing this war to occur? Because, yeah, the big question is the Holy Grail even in existence now? Because it was destroyed in the previous war.
だろうな。なら、
いや、足りないのなら補えばいいだけの話だろう。サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質は魂食いだ。
Oh,
存在
fuck.
濃度が薄れ始めたのなら、他人の
Oh,
魂で補充すればよい。
okay. No, I have a little bit of a feeling on how Archer is here now. Is he telling me to attack random people like Shinji did?
ふざけるな。そんなことできるものか。
Okay, so my thought now is Archer is still here because of what occurred there. That fiery battle at the very end, that fiery scene. People died. People's souls may have been consumed there. If the Holy Grail is required for a servant to, well, I guess it's a joint thing, like he said. It's the master and the servant, or master and the Holy Grail working together to keep the servant present. However, would enough magical power, be enough through just consuming that many souls all at once?
大体な。
Just to
セイバー
stay
自身
here?
そこまでして
I
残ろ
wonder.
うと思ってない。
そうか。ならば、あとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。お前が真実セーバーを人として生かしたいのなら、聖杯をセーバーに飲ませればいい。
He must have anticipated my resistance. The look on his face tells me that this is the conclusion he wanted me to reach this whole time.
それは聖杯で俺の願いを叶えろってことか。
いや、それはお前の願いとは関係がない。聖杯の中身はそういうものだ。リンから聞かなかったか？サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むことによって現世で二度目の生を授けられるのだと。
I mean, that's kind of what I gathered from everything.
もっとも、
Whether we were
それ
explicitly
はこの
told
時
that or
代の使
not.
い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然サーバントのままだが、マスターさえ存命ならばこの世界にとどまれるようになる。
けどそれは。
That's no solution. Even if she were able to stay in this world, it would be pointless if she's still a servant. She wouldn't be able to exist without magical energy from her master. And even if she managed to live in this world for a long time, she would just go back to that hill after her death. Saber would never agree to such a thing. She doesn't care about a second life. She insists that she's going to use the Holy Grail for something else. But then again, does the Holy Grail, the key to all of this, even still exist in this world?
話は分かった。結局聖杯を手に入れるしかないってことだろう。けど聖杯はあるのか。親父が壊したんならも
う何かね。
聖杯がないのなら戦う理由がない。こんな馬鹿げた殺し合いは無意味だ。
Okay, but counterpoint. If the Holy Grail doesn't exist, how is everybody here? How are these servants, all present, all 7 of them? And I guess plus Archer.
戦う理由はないか。何を今さら。元より君に理由などない。
Well, his reason became self-defense in a lot of ways here. He says that, and time seems to just stop. There's no reason to fight. He told me that before. I had just become a master and I didn't have much of a reason to fight. So at the time, what he said didn't sink in. I just ignored him, thinking he was being sarcastic. But what about now? There's a reason for me to fight. If there's a Holy Grail, I want to end this war, and if it's possible, I want to give the Grail to Saber. There is a reason for me to fight, and a perfectly good one at that. But why? Why do these simple words make me shake so much that I feel like I'm about to vomit up everything I've held in for so long?
まあよかろう。今はエミやシローの傷を切開する時ではない。
No, what do you mean by that? A voice shatters the stillness that had locked up my thoughts. It's the voice of a man I don't want to hear. But that voice at least settles the wave of nausea I feel creeping up on me.
聖杯はある。もとより聖杯は受け皿に過ぎぬからな。なくなれば、用意した者が新しい聖杯を用意する。
用意した者が新しい聖杯を用意するって、聖杯ってそんな簡単に作れるものなのか？
器を作るだけならばな。無論、相応の技術が必要となってくるが、もとよりその技術なくして聖杯戦争は成り立たなかった。もともと、聖杯とは神の血を受け継いだ杯ではなく、古より伝わる魔法の鎌が原型なのだ。お前も魔術師の端くれならば知っていよう。ユートピア。ギリシャ語でたどり着けない場所という意味を持つそこには、願いを叶える万能の鎌があるとされた。このあらゆる神話の根底にある万能の鎌を再現しようとした魔術師たちがいた。それがアインツベルン、マキリ、遠坂の三家だ。連中は何代かにわたって万能の鎌を再現する儀式を模索し、200年前にそれを完成させた。それが一度目の聖杯戦争。人工物に過ぎない聖杯に万能の鎌を降霊させ、道を開こうとした儀式だった。
アインツベルン？それってイリアの家のことか？
I was gonna say, that one sounds pretty familiar. It was the second name that doesn't sound familiar whatsoever.
そうだ。アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に長けていてな。こと、聖杯の模造品を作る技術は神業だった。だが、それだけでは聖杯を呼び出すことはできん。ふさわしい土地と強力な呪縛が必要となる。それらを提供したのが遠坂とマキリだ。当時教会と魔術協会は係争の真っ最中だったからな。儀式には教会の目が届かない極東の地が選ばれた。アインツベルンはそれを見越して遠坂を仲間に引き入れたのだろう。遠坂はここ一帯の霊地の持ち主であり、その死は高霊術の対価だった。アインツベルンとしては遠坂なくして聖杯召喚は不可能だった。
Well, I guess they work together in some sort of fashion then.
だが、二つの家だけでは容易に裏切りが起きてしまう。
Well, obviously up to a point.
ことは三すくみにすべきだと考えたのか。遠坂はマキリの家系にもこの話を持ち込んだ。マキリも長い年月を持つ名門でな。こと使い魔に関しては優れた技法を持っていた。サーバントを縛る霊樹を作り上げたのもマキリだ。そうして連中は聖杯召喚に一致団結したわけだが、いざ成功してみれば残ったのは潰し合いだ。
Yeah, that sounds about right.
一度目の聖杯の降霊は連中が戦っている間に終わってしまったらしいな。そうして代を重ね、聖杯戦争というルールを作り、形だけは元の協力関係に戻った。遠坂はこの土地とサーバントを形作るシステムを提供し、マキリはサーバントを縛る霊樹を提供した。そしてアインツベルンは聖杯が宿る器を用意する。それらが彼らの敷いた協力関係というわけだ。
Throw all these things together and we have the Holy Grail War as we know it. The battle that has to, rage on for really the Holy Grail to be complete. I'm not sure what's so amusing about this, but the priest seems to enjoy telling me about it. But I see. They say the Holy Grail War is a ritual, but I didn't know Ilya and Tosaka's families were the ones who created the whole thing.
聖杯を用意したのはアインツベルンだからな。前回キリツグに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。おそらく アインツベルンの娘が聖杯を持っているのだろう。
Yeah, huh? I was about to say it. Wow, okay. Ilya holds the Holy Grail. That's weird. I don't think I saw anything among her belongings that looked like the Holy Grail.
さて、これで気は済んだか。お前が何を悩むのかは私には知り得ない。
A little bit of everything.
だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。それが分かったのなら早々に帰るがいい。
Can you drive us?
戦いはまだ終わっていない。セーバーもつけずに出歩くのは正気の沙汰ではないぞ。
No, I agree with you on that one. Jesus.
余計なお世
Lancer
話だ。
is still out there.
まだランサーのマスターが残っていることぐらい。
Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask.
ことみね、聖杯が消えればサーバントも消える。あんたはそう言ったな。
言ったが、何か問題でも。
Yeah, is there an unless? Like I said earlier, is it possible to maybe maintain the servants by substituting the power that the Holy Grail would push towards them existing here by, I don't know, consuming thousands of souls or some shit?
大ありだ。何者かは知らないが、8人目のサーファントがいた。セイバーの話じゃ、あいつは前回からずっとこの場に残ってるって話だぞ。
So he didn't even know. I can see that he's shocked. Kotomine's eyes go wide.
どういうことだ、ことみね。あんたなら少しはわかると思ってきたんだぞ。
消えなかったサーバントがいるということだな。そう不思議ではあるまい。前回の戦いはセーバーが聖杯を破壊することで終わったのだ。つまりセーバーの他にもう一人サーバントは残っていた。セイバーは潔く消えたが、そのサーバントが限界することを望んだのなら、
And what is that
話はた
answer?
やすい。
Tell us, what is it?
それは魂を食らうことで魔
There
力
it
を
is.
補い、
There it is.
この10年間生き続けたのだろう。
And it's not only probably that, you know, the incident that I had brought up, and Shirou brought up at least 50 times here in this visual novel so far, but yeah, there may have been a lot of deaths. Not by natural cause, not by like an accident or something, but by murder from another servant. The one servant that was just chilling here in this world for the past 10 years.
そんなバカな。あいつの気配は異常だった。あんなのが10年間もいたら、親父だってあんただって気がつくはずだ。
分かっている。おそらくかくまっている者がいたのだろう。そのサーバントのマスターか。
もしくは、なんだよ。
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの資格を持ち得なかった魔術師だ。
Oh shit.
そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだが、それもないな。マキリのご老体はとうに隠居している。
Kotomine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ。今の話を聞いては監督役として放ってはおけん。そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう。お前は残るランサーとの戦いに専念するがいい。
Kotomine heads to the exit, indicating that there is nothing else to discuss. There's definitely nothing more to be gained by staying here. I follow Kotomine out of the dark stone room, and from there he leads me to the entrance in silence. I think this was still a good conversation to have. I think we picked up a bit, and we straightened out our thoughts. I know I did. I definitely did. Because these past few episodes have been quite alarming. I leave the church, and behind me...
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤ・シロ。
Yeah, I'm sort of formulating my thoughts on that one. What Shirou is thinking about, I'm not entirely sure. The priest puts that to me, maybe to make certain that I remember. Why does he look so fucking weird when he just looks at us straight on? They really should not have, like, set up a sprite where he just looks at you as if he's staring into your soul through the goddamn monitor. He watches me from the door with a condescending twist to his lips. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I don't need anyone to remind me of that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail only, but she doesn't want its power for herself. And as long as she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind Saber anymore. She will be freed from going back to the point right before her death, and she truly will die.
どういう風の吹き回しだ？あんたがそんな忠告をする玉か？
なに？お前がセーバーに肩入れしている様は喜ばしいのでな。私なりの行為として忠告しているのだよ。聖杯を手に入れてしまえばセーバーは消える。彼女と共にいたいのならば、聖杯は諦めるべきだろうとな。
それこそ矛盾してる。聖杯がなかったらセイバーをとどめておけない。
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい。先ほどのサーバントの話もある。セーバーを存命させたいのなら、魂を与え続ければいいだけではないか。
Yeah, but we're not doing that. The thing is, there might be another way still. There might be another solution, just like how there was another solution whenever she was basically dying.
ふざけるな！そんなことできるもんか。
I glare at the priest.
そうか。それは残念だ。
My glare has no effect on him. He just laughs in amusement.
ならば、聖杯の中身に期待するしかないな。お前のサーバントが望まないにしても、霊樹を一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
So we obviously now know Saber's wish. We know what her plan is. What did Kiritsugu know, you know? What was going on through his head? And I brought this up in the previous episode. There could be just one elaborate scheme going on, one big-ass plan that man had in store that involved Shirou, that involved a war 10 years later. But it could have also been out of the goodness of his heart. Maybe. There's something going on. He's saying, it doesn't matter if Saber doesn't want it. If I'm her master, I just need to force her to drink from the Holy Grail using the power of the command spell.
おや、失言だったか。そう睨むな。あくまで今のは忠告に過ぎん。ま、セイバーの意志を尊重するのもよかろう。彼女の人生だ。我々が口を出す権利はない。例のサーバントに関しては、明日中に調べ上げよう。
Damn. It works really fast, Jesus.
気が向いたのなら、もう一度訪れるがいい。
No, we're good. The church doors close. I glance up at the towering church before I turn to leave. I hope nobody was eavesdropping on us there. I crossed the bridge at night. This is the path I once walked with Saber. I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything at the time.
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
Why are we reflecting on something we heard like 5 to 10 minutes ago? I know. I don't need him to tell me that. But why is everything so complicated? Saber shouldn't obtain the Holy Grail. But the only thing that can save her is the Holy Grail.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろう。それでも存命させたいのなら、彼女に魂を与え続ければいい。
Okay, you told us this like 3 minutes ago, man. I can't do that. And even if I asked her to do it, she would refuse. She would choose to disappear if that were the alternative. She will disappear, and then she'll have to do another Holy Grail War all over again later.
ならば、霊樹を一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
黙りやがれ！
The fuck? Kotomine's words are poison. I can't get rid of them. In a rage, I smash my fist against the nearby rail, desperately hoping to clear my mind. I hear an echoing, metallic clang. There's no other sound. Not so much as a car or another person passing by.
くそ。何をその気になってんだ。
I lean against the rail, grumbling to myself. I know I should just ignore Kotomine, but there's just some sort of power to his words, and I can't ignore them. What do I want to do? And what am I fighting for? In the beginning, it was stopping the Holy Grail War. But when did that become secondary? Did it happen when I started to stubbornly fight on my own? Did it happen when I realized how helpless I am and started to cooperate with Saber? Or did it happen when I made a sword for her after our souls entwined in that night in the ruins? No, that's all nonsense. I don't need to think about it. Since the beginning, my mind has been made up since I met her in the shed. The sight of her, illuminated by the moonlight, that would have been fine had I not shared that dream of her past, and so not known any better, it would have been over without me even noticing. But I did find out. I knew I couldn't leave her alone, and I started to hope that I could somehow not lose her. I wished to stay this way. I want to keep seeing her smile. The image of the girl watching the sunset alone on that hill, strewn with swords. My chest hurts whenever I think of that scene. She never took any time for herself. That always bothered me. Kiritsugu always said not to make a girl cry. I much prefer her smiling face to her tears. That's why I was so angry Saber never smiled. But then, when I told her to smile, she always replied that she would rather see me smile. That's like looking at an unreachable star through a telescope. I look up at the night sky. I stare up at the star I can never reach. A trickle. I don't know how it formed, but I feel a tear slide down my cheek.
俺、あいつが好きだ。
God damn. I say it to nobody. As dense as I may be, I have to at least admit how I feel. I can't stop this feeling anymore. I realize I've fallen in love with her, so much so that thinking about her can bring me to tears. I mean, obviously there was a bit of affection that he had felt for her. That's very obvious. I hear Tosuka's voice as I arrive. She's standing at the entrance.
父さん、お前なんで？
玄関で立ち話もなんでしょ？疲れてるみたいだし、こっち来なさいよ。
Oh, what do you have to talk about? She grabs my hand and, without waiting for me to reply, drags me down the hall, excuse me. And she brings me to her room.
はい、お茶。外寒かったでしょ？
Yeah, maybe. She's awkward about it, but she's being considerate.
ああ、サンキュー。
Honestly, the hot tea is comforting. It took me a good hour to walk home from the neighboring town. I walked slowly, so I was cold to the bone.
で、綺麗のとこに行ってたの？
Yeah. As usual, she doesn't beat around the bush. I get it. Tosuka must have known that what I was going to do from the very beginning. But she didn't stop me. She just waited for me to come home, and now she's even made me tea. I feel like a new man, now that my mind is made up and I appreciate Tosuka's thoughtfulness. Which is probably why I say...
行ってきた。聞きたいことがあったから。
I don't hide anything. I'm honest with her.
そっか。じゃあ何をしてきたかは聞かない。シロウもそれでいいでしょ？
そうだな。それに、あんまり身のある話じゃなかった。ただ今の状況を確認しただけだったし。
そう。でも驚いたな。セイバーがまだサーバントになりきってないだなんて。最強のサーバントが その実一番半端なサーバントだったなんて悪い冗談じゃない。
そうだな。セイバーはサーバントになんてならなければよかったんだ。
She nods in agreement.
意外ね。シロとアーチャー、もしかしたら気があったのかもしれないな。あいつもね、シロと同じこと言ってたから。
Yeah, I miss that guy, honestly. I feel like there was way more of a dynamic to share between the two.
アーチャーってあいつが？
そう、アーチャーも言ってたわ。自分は後悔してるからセイバーにはそうなってほしくないって。
なんであいつがセイバーの心配をするんだよ。あいつセイバーを嫌ってたじゃないか。
そうなんだけどね。やっぱりさ、あいつってセイバーにゆかりの騎士だったんじゃないかな。初めてセイバーと戦った時、あいつ明らかに手を抜いてたでしょ。
そうなのか。けどセイバーはアーチャーに見覚えはないようだったぞ。
そうなの？けどセイバーは王様だったんでしょ。なら国民を全て把握していたわけでもないし、忘れてることだってあるんじゃない？
あのな、そういうこと言い出したらそれこそキリがない。顔を見て思い出せないようなやつならそれは知らないってことだと思うけど。
Yeah, I gotta agree with Shirou on that one.
そうでもないわよ。伝説だとさ、アーサー王の進化には運が悪くてキャメロットを追われた騎士も多いでしょ。あいつその一人だったのかもしれないわ。あいつが正体を隠していたのは私にじゃなくてセイバーに対してだった。
Tosika's unusually chatty tonight. That's probably her way of trying to be considerate. Maybe not particularly effective, but Tosika is a good person. She's usually pretty relentless, but she still lends a helping hand. She's got kind of a big sister thing going on. We drink tea for a few more minutes. Tosika turns and looks straight at me. I guess she's run out of patience.
で、あなたはどうしたいの、シロ？
I don't know.
とりあえず明日は
What
デー
the
トする。
fuck? Oh, that's not what I thought. That is not what I was thinking whatsoever. I can't think of anything else. It's a spur of the moment idea I came up with on my way back home. But then I don't know where the somber mood from earlier went, because Tosika makes the most bizarre face. She does that on occasion. She bursts out into uncontrollable laughter.
ちょっと待って、心の準備がすごいってば、すっごいわがままぶりよ、シロ。
Yeah, I usually get laughed at too whenever I tell my friends I'm going on a date. Damn, I'm so dumb. I should have seen this coming.
うるさい。わがままで悪いか。そんな場合じゃないって分かってるけど、絶対に邪魔はさせないからな。
違う、シロがおかしくて。
Tosika slaps my back hard. She holds her stomach with her other hand, laughing so hard now she's nearly in tears. I think this is the worst she's ever treated me.
心底笑ったわ。
そりゃよかったな。こっちは全然笑えなかったけど。
デート頑張んなさい。私あなたたちのこと好きよ。
I don't even know how I feel about that. Honestly, I don't really know how I feel about Shirou having feelings for his own servant. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen, but still. Tosika says that kindly, doing a complete about face from a second ago.
おう、頑張る。
Honestly, that came out of left field. When she says it like that, all I can do is nod. Yeah, that was sudden. From him, not her. I go back to my room. Saber is still asleep and the house is peaceful, as if there is nothing happening. Yeah, for now though. It rained today, but what about tomorrow? I look up at the clouds slowly passing overhead. Unlike me as it is, I pray for a sunny day tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see about that. I feel like this is another calm before the storm situation, and we've got one more big-ass storm coming up. What that necessarily entails, I have no idea. But I feel like we've got some crazy shit coming up. Oh, wait, it's Valentine's Day. Fuck. God damn. Cool. Maybe it is worth bringing her on a date, or at least somebody, right? Why the fuck did we fall asleep in the goddamn shed? Ah, great. And we have... No, I'm not ending the fucking episode here. Not with that going on. Then, the next thing I know, it's morning.
情けない。結局一睡もできなかった。
Because you're asleep in the shed. I sigh and turn off the ringing alarm clock. Okay, thank you. All right. Now we'll end the episode there. I was like, no. I am not doing an outro and an intro while that's going on. Definitely not. Yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning into this one. This was a good, informative episode, and I think I've sort of laid out some thoughts. They may not be particularly good ones, some predictions, if you will, and some things to work with. We do have some information that we can kind of move around and try to piece things together as we continue along, but yeah, Shirou definitely has a tough road ahead. Lancer is the final servant to defeat. We have no idea who his master is. And then there is Archer from the previous war, who should not be here, but he is here, which is a little strange. And then the question of, if the Holy Grail is real, is it? You know? And then what will happen from there? What will Shirou do? What will Saber end up actually doing? We're going to have to just continue going along, and I'll have to just see what happens here, man. It's going to be crazy. This is my 10th episode, by the way, recording on my temporary setup through my Steam Deck. Yes, I am recording on my Steam Deck, so you've probably heard the little auditory glitches and whatever else here and there. My audio from my microphone still isn't great, but I'm still trying. Like, it works with Linux, but only so much. For some reason, it is a little different than Windows. And hopefully very soon I can get back up on my computer and I can get back to that regular grind. So just continue to be patient with me. It's just that I would rather record on this janky setup than not record at all. And hopefully that's okay with you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.